No longer, Mark, a Chelsea player. Where could he end up playing his football?
Well, I think the key thing for Raheem Sterling is 31 years old. He's got bags of experience, knowledge, and he knows how to get the job done. He's got a filled cabinet of silverware. And at 31, as a free transfer, he could be a brilliant signing for so many sides. Now, our information is that he just wants to play football. He wants to get out there, he wants to get on the grass, he wants to have an impact both on and off the pitch. And when you look at the type of character he is as well and what he's done away from football and the type of person he is, he can have a real influence on young players in any dressing room around the Premier League, in Europe. And for him, I think it's just about finding the right move for him and his family, where he's going to be settled and comfortable. He wants a permanent deal. He doesn't want a short-term fix. He didn't want to go out on loan from Chelsea and keep earning the money. They've come to an agreement. He's now a free man. He can do exactly whatever he wants. And I think when you've put the shirts on of Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, you know about expectation. You know about pressure, because that's exactly what those shirts demanded. And he was one of those consistent players for so many years at big clubs. He also did it for England. Gareth Southgate absolutely loved Raheem Sterling. And I think this could be potentially a really interesting period of time for him now. The good thing about him being a free transfer is that he doesn't necessarily have to sign before Monday's deadline at 7 o'clock. Any club that signs him would potentially turn around and say, right, we really want you. We think you can add something to our squad. But come in and train. Come and be amongst the dressing room. Come in and play maybe a 23s game or a reserve game or a behind closed doors friendly game. Let's just have a little look at you and what you're about, because you haven't played any competitive football since last season. And then maybe we can do a deal. But I think Raheem Sterling on a free transfer, if they can get the money right, could be an exceptional piece of business for so many sides.
And picking up on that, you actually might have, Kev, more options when the window closes of people missing out on their targets, etc. Obviously, Napoli have been linked with the move to him, and they play a lot of mind games, as you know, Napoli, and they're saying that it's too expensive at the moment, but negotiations could take place, couldn't they, over the next week or so, or even past the window, as you say. Is he more suited to Italian football, to Bundesliga, if he is to leave these shores?
I think he could adapt to either. I think the Bundesliga would be perfect for him. The transitional nature of it, he gets some space to play. But I'm struggling to come up with a landing spot for him. Bayern don't need him right now. They've got so many attacking options right now. Borussia Dortmund would be interesting, but Niko Kovac, their coach, is so hot on the fitness side of it. So he would have to prove to Kovac that he was absolutely ready to go and could make a difference for them between now and the end of the season. Napoli feels like a good fit. It's exactly the kind of signing Antonio Conte likes to make. So we'll see if those concerns about finance disappear in negotiation.
Well, that's what the sporting director said. He was quoted as saying significant financial expectations maybe are the reason why that deal potentially couldn't happen. As Kevin touched upon there, Antonio Conte likes players that have played in the Premier League. He's signed players that have got English level experience before, and it would go into that side. And I think Raheem Sterling would be the type of player that could have a real impact at that side. That Napoli are a little bit struggling at the moment, aren't they? Haven't hit the heights that they had last season, and there is a little bit of pressure.
They need a good news story.
Especially after last night.
Yeah,
Champions League.
They've gone out the Champions League. They're 9 points off Inter at the top of Serie A. So that kind of deal that would really lift the mood, I think, and lift the mood of Conte, because half of it is trying to keep him happy. So he's talked a lot about the absences they've had. They've been so unlucky with injury. You bring a guy like that who can cover multiple positions, suddenly that would help.
You'd have a conversation with Højlund, with Lukaku, with Gilmour, with McTominay, revitalised a lot of those players, as Mark mentioned. Jeremy Jacquet, I've said that name for 3 weeks.
Yes.
It seems to be going not very far. You've seen a lot of him in a Rennes shirt. Is he the real deal? And do you think, both of you, that Chelsea are going to activate this?
I think he is the real deal, but it's difficult because, like Lenny Yoro, when he came in, you're going off potential largely. What I think clubs like about him is how comfortable he is in possession, how he brings the ball out from the back, excellent in the air. You look at Rennes, their record of developing academy talent is exceptional. They are one of the best youth producing sides in France, probably in Europe actually. So I can completely understand why there is all of this interest. But he had a loan spell at Clermont. He's played a fair few games for Rennes now, but it's not a long track record. So you are just going off potential. Rennes say they don't want to let him go because that would harm their chances of qualifying for Europe, potentially qualifying for the Champions League. they say publicly, at least, they'd rather do a deal in the summer.
Cole Palmer, meanwhile, once again showed his value, didn't he, to Chelsea last night. Off the bench, he provided 2 assists as they came from behind from 2-1 down to beat Napoli 3-2 and book their place in the top 8 of the Champions League group phase. And after the victory, Chelsea's captain, Reece James, moved quickly to dismiss any claims that Palmer is not enjoying life at Stamford Bridge.
He's, been in a difficult period. He's had, a few setbacks. It's been slow for him this season, but we're super happy, to have him. He showed, what he can do today in the 45 minutes he played. I know, everyone needs to stay patient with him. He's an amazing player. He's still super young. And he's going to improve, with time.
There's been a lot of talk around him as well with England. There's so much competition in his place as well, and transfer talk around him. How's he handled that, and has he shown commitment to Chelsea as well?
Oh, of course he's committed to Chelsea. He's a Chelsea player. Many players have speculation, in transfer windows. It's the normal for players. But no, he's conducted himself really well, and we're super happy with him.
Lots happening meanwhile at West Ham.